This video is going to take a look at the collection API enhancements that have been introduced with Java 8. Collections are used in all Java applications, and many of the operations that we perform upon our collections tend to be fairly long to write, and they can even be error-prone. So the API enhancements have been introduced to make it easier for us to work with collections, and also in a more standardized way. First, we're going to take a look at the different ways that we might want to iterate through a list. Second, we're going to look at the different ways that we might obtain a key or value from a map, and the different ways that we can place keys and values into our map, and also how we can calculate a new value for a map when a value already exists. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more weekly videos on Java, do consider subscribing. So to begin, I've created two collections in our main class. One is called goals list, and this is just a list of integers. And then second, we have a map of string to integers called player to goals map, and this contains the player's name, and then the value will just be the number of goals that they've scored. Now usually when we want to iterate through all the items in our list or all the items in our map, we could use a enhanced for loop. So this would look something like this. So we have for integer goal from goals list, and then within this curly braces we can perform our own logic. So let's say we just want to print out all of the numbers from our goals list. Now if I run this, we can see all the numbers being printed. So we can see 5, 7, 10, 2 being printed, which are all the items from our goals list. Similarly, we can do a for loop to our map, and let's say we want all of the names from our map. We can do string name, and then we can obtain the key set, and then we can do something very similar where we're just printing out all of the names. Now the first enhancement involves using the forEach method call, where rather than creating this for loop for our collection and iterating over each item in this way, we can instead just call the collection that we want and then call the method forEach, where we can pass in a lambda that represents the consumer functional interface to then perform our logic. So to replace this first for loop, we would do goals list dot forEach, and then for each item within our goals list, so let's say we want to call that goal, we can then perform our own action on that goal, and I would just print it out into the console. The same with below, we could do players to goals map dot forEach, and then we would then pass in a by consumer, which takes in the key and the value, and we can just print out the key, which will represent the name. And we can now see 5, 7, 10, 2 being printed from the goals list. And then we also have Jan, Michael, Dwight and Andy, which are the names from our keys from the player to goals map. So this is the first enhancement by using forEach to replace an enhanced for loop. So if I just clear this up for the second part. Now within our player to goals map, let's say we want to get all of the goals that are scored by a player called Jim, and we want to assign the value into an integer. So we could have integer goals by Jim, and let's say we want to start that off by being 0. What we'd then like to do is check if this map contains Jim, and if it does contain Jim, we want to update this integer to the value that would otherwise be assigned. So we can do if player to goals map dot contains key, and we pass in the name Jim, and then we can do goals by Jim equals player to goals map dot get Jim. So what we would be doing here is iterating over all of the keys in our map. If we find Jim, we then assign that value of goals by Jim to the value that we find within the map. And then let's say we just want to print out what goals by Jim would be. So if I run this now, we can expect 0 because Jim does not exist within that map. So we can see 0 is being printed into the console. Now a much better way of writing this would be to use the getOrDefault method call, which we can perform on our map. So getOrDefault is a really efficient way of checking if a key exists within a map and then obtaining the value for that key. Otherwise we can actually assign a default value that we can otherwise like it to have. So let's create a new integer down below called goals by Jim2, And this integer will be derived in a much more efficient way by doing players_to_goals_map.getOrDefault. So the first argument will be the key that we're looking for within the map. And if we don't find that key, we can assign a default value to this integer. So let's say we just want it to be 0. Then I'm just going to print it out, goals by Jim2. And we can see both values have been printed out as 0 down below. If we want to assign a different default value, let's say we want it to be 100, if we can't find Jim within our map, it will now assign the value of 100 to this integer if Jim does not exist within this map. So we can see 100 down below. However, if I do add Jim into this map and give him a value of 50, we can now expect both of these values to be 50. Okay, so I'm just going to remove Jim from our player to goals map, and I'm just going to clean up some of these print lines. Now let's say we want to check if Jim exists within our map, and if Jim doesn't exist, we just want to add him into the map with the goals of 5. So normally we would check if the map contains the key of Jim, so if player to goals map.contains key, and then we pass in Jim. So if it doesn't contain Jim, then what we want to do is add Jim into the map, so players to goal map.put, and we can add Jim with 5 goals. Then if I just print out players to goal map.get the value for Jim, we should be able to print out the value of 5 into our console. So this if statement will be adding Jim with 5 goals into our map if Jim doesn't already exist. But a new API enhancement called putIfAbsent with our map can allow us to do both of these actions at the same time. So we are checking first if a key of Jim exists within our map already, and if it doesn't, then we will be adding the key and the value into our map if it otherwise does not exist. So we can replace this with players to goal map.putIfAbsent. So Java will now perform a check on our map if the key already exists, and if it is absent, then it will otherwise place Jim into our map with the value that we specify, which is 5. So once again, I can just print out, and we can see 5 is printed into the console by using putIfAbsent, which is a slightly more efficient way of performing this if statement just above. Now let's say a game has been played and Jim has scored 2 goals within that game, and we've been informed that Jim previously had 5 goals and now he has 7. What we would like to do is update our map for the key of Jim to update the value into the number 7. So how would we normally go about this? We may want to perform a check that the value for Jim is currently 5, and then what we can do is just override the current entry within that map and then update the value into 7. So first we're checking if the map contains the key of Jim, then we're going to obtain the value of Jim and check that it's equal to 5, and then we're just going to replace that value of 5 with 7. So now if I print out what the value for Jim would be, we can now expect the value of 7. So we can see 7 is printed into the console. But a slightly easier way of doing this would be using the replace keyword with our map. So replace will take in 3 different values. First we have the key, which will be Jim. Then we will check against the old value, which is 5, and then we will replace that old value with a new value, which will be 7. And then I'm just going to move this print line afterwards so we can check that the value has now been updated into 7. So we can see the value for Jim is now 7. In this replace function, if we were checking that the value was 6 and not 5, this new value will not be assigned to the key of Jim, and therefore Jim will now return 5 because this replace value has not successfully worked. So we can now see 5 is printed into the console down below. So our map contains all of the players that we have and all of the number of goals they've scored within the season. But let's say the season has started again and we want to loop over our map completely and set all of these values to 0. The way we would do this would be to iterate over the map and replace all the keys with a value of 0. So if I just print out the map down below, we can now see that within our map, Jan, Michael, Dwight, Andy and Jim all have a value of 0 to represent the new start of the season. But there is a slightly easier way that we can go about replacing all of the values within our map, and that's by using the replaceAll method. So instead of using this for loop, we can just do players to goals map dot replace all, and we can see it accepts a by function. So this will be the key and the value, and then it returns a new value. So for our new value, we just want it to be 0. And now if I run the application, we can expect all the values to remain as 0. Now let's say instead of assigning the value of 0, we wanted to double all of the number of goals that our players have scored. We can do value multiplied by 2. And now we can see Jan has 20 goals, Michael has 14, Dwight has 4, Andy has 10, and Jim has 10. Whereas at the very start they had 5, 7, 10, and 2. Now the next method we're going to look at is called compute, and this works with a map as well. So let's say we have the value for Jan, which is number 10, and we want to triple this number for Jan. The way we would do this is first checking our map if Jan exists, then we would obtain the value that Jan has, and then we would place a new key value pair within our map for Jan and the triple value of what the goals that she currently has are. So if I print out the value for Jan just down below, where we have multiplied the number of goals by 3, we can expect 30. So 30 is printed, whereas at the top Jan only had 10 goals. This has now been multiplied by 3. Now this method is fairly similar to what we're performing just above with replace. However, no logical processing has been passed in. We're just assigning a brand new value into this key for Jim, whereas down below we're performing a little bit of a computation to get the new value for Jan. So by using replace, we can shorten this method by using a by function on our map. So we can see that compute first takes in an argument for the key, so in our case this would be Jan, and then a by function to calculate the new value that we would like for Jan. So first we're going to check if the key for Jan exists, and then we're going to assign a value of 3 times the current value for Jan, and once again we can expect 30 to be printed to the console. Now assuming that the key for Jan already exists within this map, we may have a problem if the value for Jan within our map is currently null. So now when our compute method is called, the value of null will be returned into this value here. And now let's see what happens with compute for handling null values. So we can see we have a null pointer exception. Now a solution to this possible problem is by using the merge function, which can anticipate possible null values by assigning a default value. So we can see that a key and a value is passed into our function, and then a by function which will then calculate the new value. So we can see that the value of 11 has been printed down below because the null value that Jan currently had been replaced by 11, and the by function for multiplying the value by 3 was therefore not called. So if we would like to check and replace values within our map with a new value, we can use the replace method call for absolute values, but if we want to compute something new, we can use compute. But if we may expect the value to be null within our map, the merge function would be far more appropriate, as it handles the possible null pointer by assigning a default value. So that concludes this video on the API enhancements for collections that are introduced with Java 8. By understanding where these enhancements exist, you can definitely reduce a lot of the boilerplate code that you write and the potential for unwanted errors within your code.